Hey VC, how you doing? Welcome back to Hub Tunes. I'm Mike. We're gonna do a part 2 video for International Women's Month. My first one was just singers, solo artists from any genre of any era. Today I'm going to do women in bands. Rockers, most of them rockers. So I guess without further ado, I know I forgot stuff. I have a cat sneaking up behind me. I know I forgot stuff on the last one. I'm forgetting stuff on this one. As always, it's only stuff that I have in my collection on vinyl. I don't own any CDs. I know that's probably kind of weird, but I don't have any CDs. I don't even have a CD player, not in my house or in my car. It's a whole nother video. So let's get going. Oh, I got a beer. Mexico Calling. Cruz Blanca. It's a pretty cool beer. It's similar to like a Pacifico. Okay, let's start. I kind of just randomly pick stuff. This is in no order of any sort. It's just, we're gonna go at it. I got a stack of about 40 records, so this video might be a little longer than normal. I did throw in some older stuff, some newer stuff. I pulled a few bands that I really like, newer bands, so I could turn you guys on to some stuff if you haven't heard them, and then there's just some old classics too. So let's get going, because this is gonna be a while. First up, The Pretenders. The other day I showed their first album, which is probably my second favorite album of all time. I showed that because I picked up the Mobile Fidelity issue of it, and I played it last night, and it sounds fantastic. It's really good, very, very hot. This is their most recent album, came out last year, Hate for Sale, and it's basically Chrissie Hynde and Martin Chambers on drums, and then the continuing, rotating cast of other players that she's had over the last, since James Honeyman Scott and John Fernelling passed away. So it's good. This is a terrific album. If you guys haven't picked it up, it's not groundbreaking. It's not going to change the world. It's just the Pretenders playing rock and roll. I really like it. I like almost anything that the Pretenders do. There were a couple albums in the early 90s, late 80s that kind of, but everything most recent, the last 4 or 5, probably 4, have been really solid albums, and this is no doubt a good one. So the Pretenders, Hate for Sale. I guess I'm not really showcasing albums. I'm more showcasing female singers who just rock. Second, let's go with Phantogram. I don't know if anyone knows of these guys. It's a duo. Sarah Bartel is the lead singer and primary songwriter. This is 3. They're third, and they are terrific. This is a really nice photograph of her and our partner, and they're really good. We saw them kind of fuzzy guitar rock. We saw them a couple years ago, quite a few times actually on this tour, because a friend of mine absolutely loves this album. They have a new one out that came out probably the beginning of the pandemic. It's okay. It's not quite as good as this. That's Phantogram. Next up, I don't know, anyone my age remembers this album. Romeo Void, Never Say Never. This was a big album, but not my favorite. I actually pulled out, this had their big hit on it. What was it? It was Never Say Never. Yeah. This is more of an EP, I think. The album that I absolutely adored is this one. This is a great album. They should have been bigger than they were. I mean, the reasons we won't go into why they weren't bigger, but I think if Debbie Harry had been fronting this band, they would have been huge. We'll leave it at that. This is It's a Condition by Romeo Void. Terrific, terrific album. Oh, should we mention the lead singer? Deborah Eitel. Romeo Void. Great album. This is probably their best. They have a couple that are kind of compilations, because they were one of those bands that just played all this new stuff like at the beginning, and then they released an album, and they kind of just, their second album is kind of a mishmash of stuff that was left over and this and that, and then they kind of combined albums. It's very confusing, but most of it's available on vinyl really cheap. I mean, that's an $8 album these days. This is a cool band. This is a new band I really want to plug for people. This is a band called Sorry. The album is called 925, and they're really cool. They are very similar to Phantogram in style. I love this artwork too. Very similar to Phantogram. This came out 2019, early or mid 2019. Really cool band. Check them out. Sorry. Wonderful female vocals. This hot Sleater Kinney. Well, this was a huge album a couple of years ago. Great tour. Produced by St. Vincent. A lot of Sleater Kinney hardcore fans do not like this album. This is The Center Won't Hold. Carrie Brownstein on most of the lead vocals. It's a terrific album. I love it. Look at that. Really cool photography. I love this album. I also am a massive St. Vincent fan, so I don't mind that it's Sleater Kinney that's kind of been St. Vincentized. It's St. Vincent's all over it. So, Sleater Kinney, The Center Won't Hold. The Breeders, Pod. God, I miss the Breeders. I hope they get back together. I hope they do some more music. They're terrific. I saw them on this tour. Great album. Yeah. Happiness is a great cover of Happiness is a Warm Gun. This is hot. Pod. The Breeders. Next up, one of my favorite bands. Heart, Dog and Butterfly. This is my favorite Heart album. I just love this. This, and I like Magazine too, but this is my favorite. Dog and Butterfly. Classic Heart lineup before the 80s happened. Obviously Dog and Butterfly is on here. What else we got? Oh dear God. Who can read these, people? You're gonna hear me bitch about that in every video. Dog and Butterfly. High Time. Oh, Cook with Fire. I forgot about that song. That's a great song. Minstrel Wind. Straight On is on here. Dog and Butterfly, Heart. Next up, the indie band of indie bands, Rylo Kylie. I love this. This is Takeoffs and Landings. This is with the great Jenny Lewis on vocals. I loved all their albums. There was some other solo stuff. A band called The Elected was Pierre de Rader. He was the primary songwriter with Jenny in Rylo Kylie. You might want to check him out if you like Rylo Kylie and solo. If you like solo Jenny Lewis stuff, you'll love The Elected. They have 2 albums out. One is called Sun, 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 and the other one might just be called The Elected. Really cool stuff. If you like Fleetwood Mac, The Byrds, kind of jangly pop, really good stuff. But Rylo Kylie, Jenny Lewis. Okay, I'm gonna play. I pulled these 2 because this is a cool band. It's a band called X Hex. This one is the first album, I believe. It's called Rip, and they are I hate to use they're a girl group. These girls rock too. punk, just kind of all in your face. Really good stuff. This is their first album, and then this one is the second album. And this one's called It's Real. So, X Hex. Really cool young band. Those are their only 2 albums. They don't have anything else. They're probably due for another one, because I saw It's Real, that tour. I saw them at Riot Fest, I believe. And so that was like 2 years ago. So they're probably due for a new album. But with pandemic, who knows? Let's go. This is a band called the Mina Birds. This is not my favorite album of theirs. I don't have that one on vinyl, but this one's pretty cool. It's just called Be Here Now. Very kind of folky, acousticy, ethereal. Really cool band. I will try and I'll make some notes after this, and I will try and get their other album and show it to you guys, because that one's a really good album. Maybe I'll put it in the comments or something if I remember. Okay, we'll break. Okay. Geez, did I show this? This is, I don't remember if I showed this. I gotta keep things organized. This is Speedy Ortiz. This is they're very similar to X Hex. 3 girls, and I think the drummer is a guy. They're terrific. They're this is Twerp Verse. Speedy Ortiz, and they're pretty cool. They're straightforward rock and roll. Girls who just rock. I check them out. Very similar to X Hex. We're gonna pick up the pace here a little bit. Here's Martha and the Muffins. Cool band. I'm sure people my age remember Martha and the Muffins. Kind of just more fun punk rock and roll. Let's do this. Scandal, the great Patti Smythe. This was their biggest album, and then I believe they probably split up. Maybe there was one more after this. The first one is I prefer better than this. It's more straightforward rock, a little more just toned down, just out there, rock and roll. This one's good. This one's huge. I mean, obviously the Warrior was enormous. Yeah, this was a good album. All I Want, Beat of a Heart, the great Patti Smythe. Would go on to marry John McEnroe and do some terrific solo stuff with Don Henley. There were a couple of solo albums that she made that were terrific. And then I think she just kind of went and had a family and is probably happy. Next up, this is a Dead Boy and Elephant Man. We Are Night Sky. The lead singer is a man. The drummer, the drummer is Tessie Brunette. This girl, we saw them when this album came out, which has got to be 12 years ago, maybe more. We saw them down at Austin City Limits. We had flown in from Chicago, and the very first band we saw when we got off the plane, we landed, we took a cab right to the fairgrounds where they were playing, and I had heard the album, but I didn't know anything about them, and it's just her and Dax Riggs, who is terrific. He does solo stuff now. She is one hell of a drummer. This girl was amazing. One of the best, loudest drummers I have ever heard in my life. So Tessie Burnett of Dead Boy and Elephant Men. And they had one album after this that was okay, not great, and then it was over. I think she was his girlfriend at the time, and I think everything was probably over. But great album, great live drummer, absolutely terrific. We're gonna do this. This is a cool band. This is Bosnian Rainbows. It's their only album. Came out about 5 years ago, maybe. A terrific red vinyl. I think it's just called, yeah, it's just called Bosnian Rainbows. Fuzz rockers, similar to, I would say, Phantogram, actually, who I showed earlier. Cool band. I hope they get together again and do some stuff. Apparently, she is in another band, and I have no idea what band it is because it's slipping my head. Somebody put it in the comments if anyone knows this band, but Bosnian Rainbows, really cool. Probably a one-off album. I bet they might not do anything else ever again, with my luck. Mazzy Star, The Great Hope Sandoval. This is Still from a couple years ago. Just pretty music. Absolutely gorgeous voice. Terrific album. Mazzy Star, Still. And then, oh, we're kind of winding down. Oh, actually, yeah, we're down to the end. So I'll just do this. I pulled 4 records from this band because they're one of my favorite bands. So I will show, I'll show their first one first. This is Concrete Blonde, their self-titled debut. Jonette Napolitano on lead vocals and basically rates everything. One of my favorite female vocalists of all time. I've had the pleasure of seeing Concrete Blonde probably 6 or 7 times, and I've seen her solo probably, oh gosh, at least 4 or 5, and I've seen her with a band solo, and I've seen her with just a piano solo. She's a little out there. She's a little crazy, but if she's on a good night, when she's on, she is on fire. She can get a little preachy. She'll get on some tangents. She'll get a little political. It kind of rubs some people the wrong way. It doesn't rub me the wrong way. I'm fine with because I agree with her. But she does have a tendency to, on some nights, to really go on a bender as far as chit-chatting between songs and preaching and telling her side of everything. But she is absolutely terrific. This is their first album. This one didn't have a lot of hits, I don't believe. Yeah, no, this has Beware of Darkness, Little Sister, Your Haunted Head. Oh, Dance Along the Edge. I love that song. I'm gonna keep this out. I might play this later. I think this was their second. I'm not sure. This is Mexican Moon. Terrific album. Again, same lineup in the band. Jonette. This says Jenny I Reed. Rain. I Call It Love. Yeah, it's a nice one. This is Mexican Moon. This is a terrific. They reissued their. These are in half speed, 45 RPMs. They reissued all their stuff on vinyl about maybe 3 years ago, and they did a terrific job. Everything sounds fantastic, and because to get their stuff on like originals is absolutely impossible, and it's really expensive. The next one is Concrete Blonde. This is Free, and this one, what does this one have on it? No, I don't remember. Oop, here we go. This had Run, Run, Run. Yeah. Little Circumstances. Yeah. They produced all their own stuff too. She's really talented. And my favorite was Bloodletting. This one is awesome. This is my favorite Concrete Blonde. Yeah. Caroline. This is a terrific album. Absolutely terrific. Everyone knows their hit. They had the huge hit, Joey. And that was just a massive hit in the 80s. So, I think that's about it. I don't know how today went. This video seems disjointed. Maybe it's because I just got back to work and I was trying to make the video really fast. I don't know. If you guys have any comments, please leave them. And let's have a discussion. Obviously, I'm leaving out many people. I mean, I left out, Blondie, and I left out the B-52s. Oh, wow, I left out the B-52s. So yeah, let's leave some comments, see what you think. I want to thank everyone again for subscribing and viewing. It's a slow start to these things. I'm trying to be patient. I think it's going well. I'm getting a lot of views, not a lot of subscriptions, but it takes time. So keep watching, keep giving me likes and dislikes or whatever you want to do. All that helps when you're a newbie at this. And that's about it. Stay safe, everyone. Questions, comments, snide remarks in the comments, and be well.